ever had a grand plan that you just couldn't wait to get started on, but instead of jumping in as you'd planned, you felt God putting His hand on you and gently pulling you back? That's exactly what happened to me last week. If you're new here, in my last video, I talked about how I've been realizing that I'm not such a good homemaker. And I've wondered, what have I been doing with my life all these years? But with God's help, I'm working on a plan to change all that. Now that I knew there was a problem, I was so eager to correct it and get started on my new homemaking journey. And I had such idealistic goals. I was going to read all those library books that I got last week. Then I was going to go online and search for the perfect homemaking guides, come up with a plan, and then maybe put it all in a pretty little binder. But then my mama duties caught up with me and all my grand plans just flew out the window. Now maybe you don't have kids, maybe you take care of an elderly parent or your grandchildren or even a pet. We all have these things that come up in life, don't we? On Monday, I didn't get started with my homemaking journey yet because I was busy taking my son Jack to a doctor's appointment. And after the appointment, the sweetest thing happened. We decided at the last minute to have a mom-son date at our favorite pizza place. Now that Jack is 16, his life is moving so fast that he barely has time for me anymore. I know that I have to let him go. And that makes me treasure this time with him even more. Sorry. On Tuesday, I was sitting in the cafeteria of his high school along with all the other parents and grandparents as I proudly watched him walk across the stage and receive his class ring. I just wanted to freeze time for a little while. I was so proud when I was the first person that he walked up to show his new shiny ring. I spent Wednesday frantically working on last week's video so that I could be free to spend the last few days of Maggie's summer break from college with her. Maggie's been feeling burdened by the upcoming school year, and while it's her last year of college, she knows it's going to be the hardest. While I wish that I could take away Maggie's stress over school, through my years of motherhood, I've learned that these are the experiences that make our children stronger. So I'll stand by her side and offer words of encouragement, and I'll pray for her in only the way that a mother prays for her child. I'll insert some clips of some of the fun things that we did during those last few days. They just flew by so fast. And when I was looking back at the clips, I realized that some of the things we were doing were actually homemaking, and I don't stop to think about it that way. Hey friends, today me and Maggie are in Savannah. We're not in downtown Savannah, but we're on the south side. Come along with us as we do some shopping for early fall decor. We weren't ready for pumpkins and scarecrows just yet. I've never decorated for early fall before. Have you? We just wanted to find a couple of new things to add to what we already had at home so we could get a few inklings of fall after this hot summer that we've had this year. On Friday, we spent time together by having a baking day. We love to spend a cozy day in the kitchen together, and we made chocolate sourdough madeleines. I'll link the recipe for you below in the description box. Oh, they smell so good. I wish you could smell them right through the screen. Today's Saturday, and we felt like we needed one last girls' day. So I'm taking Maggie to lunch at this cute little place in the country. We'll be riding down some country roads and showing you some pretty houses and farms along the way. Lunch was so good, y'all. Now we're headed home to finish up our early fall decorations, and I'm wondering what we're going to come up with because we don't really have a plan. I know the Holy Spirit is working on me, and I realized it when I thought about all those library books that I checked out last week. Well, the only one that I felt drawn to read was the one about mothers and sons. The Lord pointed out to me last week that relationships are the most important thing of all. That's what I've been doing all these years. I've been investing in my family. While I do need to find a balance with homemaking, family always comes first. In my last video, I shared with you a book that I got recently on Amazon, and it's called Mrs. Dunwoody's Excellent Instructions for Homekeeping. So far, I've read the first chapter and I'm really enjoying it. Mrs. Dunwoody is a fictional character that is based on the author's great-grandmother, and it's such a good book. I wanted to share a couple of precious nuggets with you. Recipe for a happy home. Half a cup of friendship and a cup of thoughtfulness, creamed together in a pinch of powdered tenderness. Very lightly beaten in a bowl of loyalty, with a cup of faith, one of hope, and one of charity. Be sure to add a spoonful of gaiety that sings, also the ability to laugh at the little things. Moisten with sudden tears of heartfelt sympathy, bake in a good-natured oven, and serve repeatedly. Proverbs 14:1 says, "The wise woman builds up her house, but the foolish one tears hers down." Looking back on my life, I know there is many times when I've been that foolish woman, but I want to be that wise woman, and I'm striving to be her. And friends, I hope you'll join me in this and we can all support each other. A recent prayer of mine has been, Lord, help my plans to be what your plans are for me. I didn't realize it until recently, but I had been praying for what I want and how I want my life to be. And then I would pray and try to bend God's will to my will. And it doesn't work that way. But now that I've changed the way I pray, it feels like blinders are starting to come off and I'm starting to see things in a new light. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful comments on last week's video. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with me. Your sweet and thoughtful comments brought tears to my eyes. I'm wishing you a wonderful, joy-filled weekend, and I'll see you back next week with a brand new video.